The Hadith literature provides a comprehensive and balanced view of wealth in Islam, treating it not as an evil in itself, but as a trust from God and a test for the believer. The teachings cover its acquisition, management, purification, and distribution. Here are the different categories of hadiths on wealth, detailing the Islamic perspective. 1. The nature of wealth, a test and a trust. These hadiths frame the fundamental Islamic understanding of wealth. It is a means, not an end. Wealth as a trial. The Prophet said, "Every nation is tested by a fitna, trial, and the trial for my ummah is wealth." Sunan al-Tirmidhi. This establishes that wealth is a primary test of faith, challenging one's gratitude, humility, and priorities. The true value of wealth. The Prophet pointed to the real measure of wealth, saying, "Wealth is not in the abundance of worldly goods, but true wealth is the richness of the soul." Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. This refers to contentment, qanaa, and spiritual richness. A trust from God. Wealth is considered an amana, trust. A person will be held accountable for how they acquired it and how they spent it on the Day of Judgment. 2. The acquisition of wealth, lawful versus unlawful. Islam places immense emphasis on earning a halal, lawful, livelihood. The superiority of lawful earnings. The Prophet said, "O people, Allah is good and He, therefore, accepts only that which is good." Sahih Muslim. He further stated that consuming what is unlawful makes one's dua, supplication, unanswered. Prohibition of riba, usury, interest. The severity of dealing in interest is made clear. The Prophet said, "A dirham of usury that a man consumes knowingly is worse than 36 acts of adultery." Musnad Ahmad, graded as Sahih by Al-Albani. Prohibition of fraud and deception. The Prophet said, "The buyer and the seller have the option to cancel or confirm the deal unless they separate. If they spoke the truth and made it clear, any defects, they would be blessed in their deal. But if they lied and hid defects, the blessings of their deal would be lost." Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. 3. The purification and growth of wealth, zakat and charity. Wealth is purified and increased in blessing through mandatory and voluntary charity. The obligation of zakat. Zakat is one of the 5 pillars. The Prophet sent Mu'adh ibn Jabal to Yemen and instructed him, "Inform them that Allah has made zakat obligatory upon their wealth, to be taken from the rich among them and given to the poor among them." Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. Wealth does not decrease through charity. To combat the fear of poverty, the Prophet said, "Charity does not decrease wealth." Sahih Muslim. This is a metaphysical principle where Allah replaces what is spent in His cause with barakah, blessing, or more wealth. The best charity. The Prophet emphasized giving from what one loves and from one's surplus. He said, "The best charity is that which is given when you are wealthy." Sahih al-Bukhari. He also highlighted giving to one's dependents, saying, "A dinar you spend in Allah's way, a dinar you spend to free a slave, a dinar you give in charity to the poor, and a dinar you spend on your family. The greatest of these in reward is the one you spend on your family." Sahih Muslim. 4. The prohibition of hoarding and greed. While saving is permitted, hoarding wealth out of greed and withholding the rights of others is condemned. Warning against hoarding. The Quranic condemnation of those who hoard gold and silver is reinforced in the Sunnah. The Prophet said, "No owner of a treasure who does not pay zakat, due on it, but it will be heated in the fire of hell and made into plates with which his sides and his forehead will be branded." Sahih Muslim. covetousness is poverty. The Prophet advised, be indifferent to the world, and Allah will love you. Be indifferent to what people possess, and people will love you. Sunan Ibn Majah. He also said that greed for more wealth is a form of poverty itself. 5. Management and spending, balance and moderation. Islam promotes a middle path, avoiding both extravagance and miserliness. The prohibition of israf, extravagance, Allah says in the Quran, and do not be extravagant, for indeed, He does not love the extravagant. Quran 7:31. The Prophet forbade wasting money, even if it was on charity in an unnecessary way. The condemnation of miserliness, the opposite of extravagance, is also condemned. The Prophet would seek refuge from miserliness in his prayers. O Allah, I seek refuge with you from helplessness, laziness, cowardice, miserliness. Sahih al-Bukhari. Spending in moderation, the ideal is moderation. The Quran describes the true servants of Allah as those who, when they spend, are neither extravagant nor miserly, but maintain a balance between them. Quran 25:67. 6. The dangers and spiritual pitfalls of wealth. These hadiths serve as stark warnings about the potential spiritual harm of wealth. Wealth as a distraction. The Prophet said, 2 hungry wolves let loose among a sheep are not more harmful than a man's greed for wealth and fame is to his religion. Sunan al-Tirmidhi. This highlights how the love of wealth can destroy one's faith. Accountability for every penny. A person will be held to account for their wealth. The Prophet said, the son of Adam will not pass away from his Lord until he is questioned about 5 things: his life and how he spent it, his youth and how he used it, his wealth and how he earned it and how he spent it. Sunan al-Tirmidhi. Summary: the balanced view of wealth. From these hadiths, a clear, balanced, and divinely guided philosophy of wealth emerges, a means, not an end. Wealth is a test from Allah, a tool for achieving higher spiritual goals, not the goal of life itself. Sacred acquisition. It must be earned through halal, lawful means, strictly avoiding interest, fraud, and exploitation. Purification through giving. It is purified and increased in blessing through the mandatory zakat and voluntary sadaqah, charity. A social trust. Wealth carries the rights of the poor and needy. Hoarding it while these rights are unfulfilled is a major sin. Prudent management. It should be spent with wisdom and balance, avoiding both wastefulness and stinginess, prioritizing family and those in need. A spiritual hazard. An excessive love for wealth and a preoccupation with its accumulation is one of the greatest dangers to a person's faith and ultimate success in the hereafter. In essence, wealth in Islam is a fitan test that can lead a person to either paradise if managed correctly, or to ruin if it becomes their ultimate object of worship.